Hey, everybody. Welcome to the launch of our first Wellness Wednesday for Nutrition Month. And we are kicking off today with Nourish, looking at how we can nourish our body and our mind. I'm welcoming Jeremy with me this morning, so he will be joining us to explain a little bit more about Nutrition Month. But please come in and join us. And I would love to see you say hi over in the chat. If you're not used to Demio, I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of how Demio works. It can be as interactive as you want it to be. So over there, we have some good mornings coming in under the chat. There's my marvelous mama. And I'm so happy to welcome everyone. My name is Sharon Ash. I'm the Health Promotion Specialist at Garrison Kingston, and I am part of the team bringing you Nutrition Month for the whole month of March. Great to see some RMC folks here as well, and some military members, as well as some family members, and of course, our team that is behind the scenes right now. If you are new to Demio, this is just a little bit of information so that you can be comfortable with the platform that we're using. So I see everyone is getting into the chat. So wonderful. It's so great to have you here. Please say good morning to everyone and say hi. So we have that chat function. We will also be doing polls, and you're welcome to join the polls if you wish. But of course, this is your webinar, so you can also just sit back and listen. I want everyone to be aware that this presentation is the intellectual property of DND, and so we ask you not to share it without permission. But if you want to review it, there are two different places that you can find it. One on calfconnection.ca at a national level, as well as you will be able to see this within a week to watch it again if you wish to at pspkingston.com. And Jeremy's going to be sharing some extra resources with you as well. Before we go too much further, I also want to just add in, let me see here, our slide deck. So I'm going to share the slide deck with you. You're welcome to hit that download button. When you click it, it's just going to download the slide deck, because I know a lot of people like to review it afterwards, and then that gives you the opportunity to sit back and listen and not have to take notes right now. Of course, you don't take notes out of it. And also, we have that audio and visual element. So if you see the little speaker and the visual, Jeremy can unmute you and also allow you access to your camera. So for some of you, if you're interested, then you can just put in the chat that you would like to come on board, and Jeremy will allow you to be up here with us. We can only do 3 people at a time up in the top section. And you don't have to be on the visual as well. You can just have your audio so that we don't physically see you, or you can just put any questions or comments in the chat, and Jeremy is behind the scenes, as well as some other PSP folks are there to help you. So once again, welcome. So happy to see you here. And I hope that everyone is going to enjoy the next 30 minutes together. I'm also just going to ask you to identify who you are. And I'm just going to add this into our poll. As I share it, you'll be able to click on how you see yourself represented today. So are you RAG or Reserve Force, including our officer cadets? It was so great to see. Thank you for joining us. Would you self-identify as a military member, as a retired military member, so veteran, as a family member? Do you see yourself as a DND staff or an NPS staff? And this will be important for Jeremy as he explains some of the prizing for Nutrition Month and who is eligible for that. So thank you so much. Now you know how to do the polls, you know how to do the chat, and you also know how to do the handouts, as well as if you want to join us with any of your thoughts today. So I'm going to hand it over to Jeremy for a moment to explain Good for You and our wonderful things that are happening this month for Nutrition Month. Jeremy.
Thanks, Sharon. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Nutrition Month. Very exciting this year. We have some awesome stuff for you guys. So first off, we have our Wellness Wednesday webinars happening every week. So every Wednesday at 8:30. So keep following us the following weeks as we keep having prizes to give to you for all of them. So these prizes have been generously donated by our awesome sponsor, Heather Hall, who is an independent consultant with Pampered Chef. So she's given us some awesome cookware and kitchen supplies to use as prizes for these webinars. So keep tuning in every week to get a chance to win those. Little detail on who is eligible to win. You have to be a member of the Kingston CAF community. So these prizes are only available to people of Kingston. And so that would include reg, reserve, retired military members and their family members 18 and above, as well as D&D civilian staff. These individuals need to have either a valid military ID or a valid CF1 card. So unfortunately, NPF employees are not eligible to win. So those are just some little details for who's eligible to win. So how this prize draw is going to happen is it will be done at the very end of each webinar, where I will write down the name of eligible participants from those who write their name in the chat. So if you are part of the Kingston CAF community and you have a valid military ID and a CF1 card, and you live in Kingston, or for officer cadets, if you're outside of Kingston, that's no problem. We can ship it to you. You are still part of the CFB Kingston community. Please write your name in the chat so that I can put your name down in the live draw that will take place at the very end, where we'll do that, and then we'll know on the spot who wins this week's awesome prize, which is a cool serving plate, as we can see on the picture on the PowerPoint. So that's for the prize draw. As well, happening this month, this coming Friday, as well as the 2 following Fridays, so March 5th, 12th, and 19th, we have free virtual cooking classes with a local registered dietitian offered to you, happening from 2 to 3 p.m. So that can be accessed right here. I will share a link. So on this link here, you will not only find the information on how to register for this virtual cooking class, but you also find all information for the Nutrition Month events and details happening this month. And finally, another great opportunity to win with Pampered Chef is our jackpot prize that will happen at the very end of the month. So again, with our great sponsor, Heather Hall, we were able to create a Pampered Chef party where when you access this link and then purchase Pampered Chef items, we are creating a larger and larger jackpot in this party link. And at the very end of the month, for all individuals who have purchased a Pampered Chef item, again, using this link, and who is eligible to win according to the same details as mentioned earlier, that individual will win the large prize, which offers some great discounts and numerous free items and just so much goodies to win. But this jackpot grows as more people buy stuff. So please follow the link, which I will share now. So this is the Pampered Chef link that you can access to buy stuff, to make that jackpot grow bigger and bigger, and to eventually have a chance to win that amazing final prize. So a lot of stuff happening this month. Hopefully you're excited. We're very excited ourselves with all these awesome prizes to give to you, all sponsored by Pampered Chef. So if you do have any questions, don't be shy to write them in the chat, or follow the links that I shared with you. There's a lot of information there. And again, please write your name in the chat if you are part of this CFB Kingston CAF community, and if you are interested in winning today's prize. So I wanna have those names written down so that I can do the live draw at the end. Thank you very much. That was a lot of information. Sorry about that.
That's a lot of information. So a lot of links and things that you can check out afterwards. And of course, since you have the PowerPoint from today, you have all this information with you, as well as how you can contact us. Thank you so much, Jeremy. That's wonderful. We'll see you at the end as well. So today we're looking at launching Nutrition Month and looking specifically at how we can nourish. So when we look at the foods that we have and the foods that we eat, and Gerald, just get you to hit your mute if you don't mind. Awesome, thank you. And we want to look certainly at how we nourish our body with food, but how do we nourish our mind with food as well? And we're looking at becoming more mindful over this month, not only with the foods that we choose, but how we enjoy those foods as well. And that's how we are here to nourish the actions as well as our state of being. So most of us are quite aware with Canada's Food Guide, and this is our newest version of the Food Guide, which looks at certainly this easy to visualize plate. And they do represent this plate as a 9-inch plate or less. So check your plates at home and see how big the portion of the plate is. What you want to mostly look at is having plenty of vegetables and fruit. And we have half of our plate that is full of vegetables and fruit as well. Vegetables most often. And certainly you can see there's lots of diversity and variety when we look at the colors that are represented there. We have a quarter of our plate as our protein food. So that's not just meat. We see all the different elements there, as well as choosing to have whole grains most often, quarter of our plate as well, and choosing water as our drink of choice. So there's lots of ways that we can see over this month about the nutrition part of what fuels our body and our mind. So I'm going to leave it at that and take it a little bit further to look at healthy eating is more than food. So how do we nourish ourselves more completely? Well, Health Canada tells us, in addition to the foods that we're eating, we want to look at what mealtime looks like for us, being mindful of our eating habits. And that's thankfully why you are joining me today, to look at that 8 mindful minutes and how we can apply it to the food that we choose. Cooking more often. Well, I'm sure in the past year, everyone has been cooking more often as we have not been able to eat out as much. I hope that you are still looking at supporting locally, as well as, getting that takeout and being safe, but at the same time helping in order to even practice a little bit more about that 100-mile diet. So having foods that are more locally grown and enjoyed. Speaking of enjoying, how do we enjoy our food? And I'm sure because all of our regular routines have been uprooted, that maybe you're finding that it's easier to enjoy your food now, or more challenging. Wherever you are, we can be a little bit more mindful of the choices that we make. Of course, eating meals with others has been significantly reduced, but that just doesn't mean in person. And even though our screen time is going up, we can choose healthy screen options, maybe by FaceTiming and having that meal with someone else, or Zooming in your friends in order to have breakfast together or a snack together, or having a whole meal around the dinner table where we are apart, but at least having that opportunity to chit chat over the foods that we're eating. So right now, if you were to close your eyes and visualize what your mealtime looks like, what's the picture that you would paint? So there's so many different ways that we can look at our food. This may represent a little bit of how it looks for you right now. Maybe you're trying to multitask. Having the kids at home has been a challenge for a lot of parents, right? Trying to figure out how you are managing your work life and your home life and combining that. It is difficult. Perhaps you are an officer cadet right now who is at home or on RMC grounds, and the challenges that come up with that, either not being able to choose the foods, or maybe you're back in an environment where you don't have the option of planning those food choices as much. Maybe you're someone that is the grab and go, right? Eating quick meals in a vehicle and never necessarily taking that time to be a little bit more focused. Maybe you're multitasking. Maybe it's gobble that food down and you don't really think about it as deeply as we could consider how we can increase that mindfulness around our food choices. Maybe you're a little bit like me and eating at your desk so that your lunchtime is for your workout or your relaxation. Or maybe you're doing really well right now and choosing new recipes and following recipes online and taking this opportunity to visit different groceries and local producers as well. So wherever you are is perfectly fine, but what is your intention? How would you like that picture to look? Is it the picture that you want? Or are you willing to look at different ways of being a little bit more mindful? So I invite you to think about what your eating environment is and how that influences how we respond. So this is just a quick introduction, but it's really important when we start to include our mindfulness practices into the foods that we're buying, purchasing, eating, preparing, and to recognize how our body looks at that. So when we are in that sympathetic nervous system, we are more in a stress response, which we do need. We don't want to be in that stress response all the time, but it is something that helps us in some ways around the fight, flight, or freeze. So it's natural and normal, but we don't want to experience our foods in that way. We want to use that restorative and repair of our parasympathetic nervous system, which allows us that rest and digest. So what does that mean for today? Well, it really means that we just want to take that opportunity to slow down a little bit in order to experience our foods a little bit more deeply so that it's not just nourishing our body, but it's also nourishing our mind. And I'm going to give you a few things that you can do in order to experience that. So I'm going to take you through this 8 mindful minutes, and each Wellness Wednesday, the first Wednesday of every month, is based on a mindfulness practice of our 8 mindful minutes. And the reason that we've created this tool is to make it a little bit easier for you time-wise. So certainly many folks are joining, and I'll talk about it soon, our mindful sessions on Facebook, which is wonderful. And we love seeing you there. It is a group, our Mind Muscle group, that looks at having live iRest sessions every Monday. And so that's a longer practice. So I want to give folks this really simple tool to integrate into your daily lives. And we're going to walk you through this in 2 minutes. It looks at 8 mindful minutes and how breathing, doing that body scan, becoming aware of senses in our body, thinking of that happy place, and specifically for your food, what is that environment that you want to be eating in? What is your vision? So when you think of foods, how do you want your plate to look? What would you like to improve upon, whether that's learning more tools? So joining us for some of those live sessions on Friday. We also have some really amazing resources available for you that are online right now that Jeremy sent you the link for. Take the time to go through Nutrition Month, and at the very bottom of that webpage, it has some really great things, some YouTube videos as well, looking at how we can nourish our body with the foods and also how we can become more mindful. So you have this in your handout, as well as I'm going to offer you a little bit of and 8 minutes of relaxation as well. So sticking on this idea of 8 ingredient recipe to nourish your body and mind. So I invite you to think about these 8 things over the month as well, and to choose one that you would like to incorporate into your daily living. So we look at this intention. How do we want the food that we bring into our world to look like? So consider the health value of every item you add to your list and stick to that list if you can, avoiding impulse buyings while you're shopping. So we invite you to practice that shopping list, and we have a great resource, Unlock, from Dietitians of Canada, that can really help you. Again, it's just on that link that Jeremy sent you, in order to look at what is your intention? What would you like to practice over this month? And maybe it starts with the shopping list. Not skipping meals. So this comes from planning and preparing. And I see in the chat, yes, impulse buyers. I'm an impulse buyer as well. I am plant-based vegan. And so anytime I see something that, they totally have me, where it says vegan, I'll be like, oh, I haven't tried this cheese. Oh, I haven't tried that. Yes, I'm going to get that. Was it on my list? Absolutely not. I'm not sure if I'm willing to change that this month, though. But it may be at one point that I do start looking at less impulse buying. Start with small portions. So start with that plate, 9 inches or less. After 20 minutes, you can go back and see if you want some more. But start with just being a little bit more mindful of the foods that you're putting on that plate. as well as appreciation and gratitude. I was really thinking about this and considering, what ways do we look at being mindful? And this appreciation of food or gratitude really made me think about how some people pray, right? Pray before your meal, or maybe once a year at Thanksgiving, you go around the table. What are you grateful for? And it made me think, what was the purpose of that? Sure, it was just to be thankful to whoever you pray to, God, Allah, whoever it happens to be, and also to bring people together. And I want you to sort of think of that gratitude a little bit more. Who are the people that prepared this food for us, including whether it was your friend somewhere close who grew this food? How far do you have to travel if you're more into the environmental aspect of it? And what this does is it just allows us to slow down, to look at the beautiful food that we have on our plate, to be thankful for that. And what does that start to do? Starts to slow down the breathing. What does the breathing do? It allows that parasympathetic nervous system to be ignited. So it is all connected. Bringing our senses to the meal. What do we smell, right? Letting that sensory flow through us to body scan. What is our taste buds giving us? What does our hearing, our sight, our smell, how does it feel when we chew and take these small bites? The small bites allow those senses within the mouth of our taste to enjoy it. Think of tasting wine, right? Or chocolate, and recognizing those small bites as we close our mouth allow us to breathe through our nose. All of this is helping our body to be prepared to accept that nutrient of food to nourish us. And then this allows us, of course, to allow our mind to be more present. Chewing. So take that time to chew. They say to chew 30 to around 20 to 30 times. Start with something smaller than that and just become more mindful, and then eat slowly. Now, this is not something we learn in the military context, as well as just trying to have that lunch break, right? As I mentioned, I like working out over my lunch. So my food is often at my desk. I am multitasking. And even if that is what I choose to do, how can I just be more mindful of how I'm doing it? So I invite you to choose one of these that would be your concepts. Check in with yourself every day. Have you taken more small bites today? Have you stopped just to appreciate the food that you have? If you have that orange, right? I can often, if you know Jeremy, he shows up with like a bag of oranges, not just one orange, or he shows up with a bag of carrots, not just one carrot, or all the broccoli, a head of broccoli. And you know what? We can smell that throughout the whole office. And it's something that ignites that, oh yes, the vegetables smell so good, or those fruits smell so good. So I invite you to be a little bit more mindful of the foods that we're choosing. So how can we get more mindful? Well, you can join our Mind Muscle Strength Training Our Brain program. I invite you to do so, and we'll just add that as well over into our Facebook group. So if you're not part of the Facebook group, I invite you to join us. And if you are part of the Facebook group, then I will see you on Monday from 12 to 12:45 for our IRA sessions. Looking forward to see you there. So let's practice a few moments of being more mindful. We won't do the full 8 minutes of mindfulness, but I am going to invite you to sit back, to relax, and I'm going to guide you through a little bit of how you can apply these 8 mindful minutes. So you're welcome to close your eyes or just to lay down, to sit in silence, whatever works for you. So let's begin by just allowing that body to sink into the place that you're resting. And we'll begin by those deep inhalations. We always start with the breath. It is the number one way for us to target that parasympathetic nervous system. So nice deep inhalations in. If we're inviting that 3-part breath in, then we allow ourselves to visualize a balloon in the abdominals rising with the inhale and deflating with the exhale. Even just taking a few moments of deep breathing to be thankful for the meal that you're about to ingest helps to nourish the body and the mind. In the next mindful minute, we're just aware of scanning our body. So we allow the crown of the head to relax. And if we can allow the thinking mind to rest, we focus on sensations for the body scan. Perhaps noticing sensations in the jaw as we think of food, or sensation of the air through the nostrils. And every time the mind wanders, just bring it back to sensation, the sensation of the body breathing itself. Sensation as the shoulders drop down and away from the ears. Sensation of the hips and thighs relaxed into the area that you're resting upon. Sensation of the legs, knees, calves. Noticing sensations that arise and just allowing the mind and the body to sink deeper into relaxation. As we go into minute 3, we're focused more on how that environment, the vision of how we would like our mealtime to look. Would you like to tap into Zoom or FaceTime and invite someone on a date for your meal? Family, friends, it's nice for everyone to see each other's faces. If you don't have people sitting around your table, visualize those that you would like to be sitting and eating with. And as we head into minute 4, visualizing. So what thoughts are included when you visualize preparing your meals, planning your meals, thinking about the meals that you would like to nourish your body with? We know that adding in that half plate of vegetables, starting there, is a really great focus for the month. Maybe you're visualizing the wonderful opportunity to win from our pampered chef some great elements of what's going to fit in your kitchen next. So we are thankful for the vision of the things that we can incorporate into our mindful minute as well. If we look at mindful minute 5 of gratitude, again, gratitude for the foods that we have available to us, and just taking a moment to think about where these foods were grown, who prepared them, and to thank yourself for also ingesting these nourishing meals. So just taking a moment of gratitude. So as we continue with the mindful minutes, it takes us into minute 6, which takes us back to our happy place, and minute 7 back to the body scan, and minute 8 back to the breathing. And as you are just becoming more aware, bringing us back to this mindful minute, we are all together to nourish. So you can continue to sit in relaxation, and I am going to add into the chat an 8 mindful minutes that you are welcome, just as a download, to click if you would like to include that, to be a little bit more mindful. And it is a full 8 mindful minutes. So thank you for experiencing that with me today. As our Facebook group, you can join us. And again, we have some live sessions every Monday for Monkey Mind Monday. So I look forward to seeing folks there. And we have other webinars coming up, but you found this one, so hopefully you will find the next ones as well. But Jeremy is going to come back on now and see who's feeling lucky. And let's see who we can thank Heather for providing this wonderful. Oh, I would love to win this. Unfortunately, I can't. I'm an NPF, but I hope that someone I know wins this as well. So, Jer, how are we doing?
Good. So right with me, I have the prize here, ready to be shipped to our or delivered to our lucky winner. I have my bowl here, old-fashioned style. for the prize draw. And our winner is
Dun, 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 dun.
ta-da-da, Noemi.
Ah!
So Noemi, you are the lucky winner of an awesome set of little cool display. So we'll be in touch with you after this webinar. We do have access to your email through your registration, so we'll contact you through that same email, and and just figure out how we can get this your awesome prize to you. So thank you, Pampered Chef, for donating that prize and for allowing us to give back to our CAF community. And did you want me to, I guess, carry? Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, and then so for next week, look forward to our next Wednesday webinar, same time, same place. New registration link, so but still on Demio. And this one will be with Rachel, looking at the good food box is good for you. So she'll be talking about eating locally and some other alternatives to eating fresh as often as you can. And so for that week, the prize will be a fancy mandolin to cut your veggies and stuff. So and then as a few last message, also keep an eye out on our social media. So on PSP Kingston, Facebook and Instagram for our Sunday posts, where Heather will be posting a video on her using some of these prizes and other awesome cookware from Pampered Chef, as well as demonstrating some healthy recipes for you to try at home and to try something new. So keep an eye out on those. They'll be posted on Sundays. And also next week, so Health Promotion has started facilitating programs in person again. And next week we have our Respecting the CAF workshop happening on March 9th. So that would be next Tuesday. We still have room for individuals to register. So I will share with you the registration link. If either yourself or someone you know would be interested in registering, please do. We still have room for participants. So please register. Please share with others.
Great. Thank you so much, Jeremy. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today to launch that wonderful month of just being more aware of the foods that we're eating and how we're eating them. It was wonderful to see everybody. I hope to actually see you over on Mind Muscle, where we are building a wonderful community of mindfulness. Thanks again,
Yeah.
Jer. Take care,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye for now.